Welcome to another episode of BlackMenCarpool, episode number 69. I'm your host, blackwax. I got my co-host Zay, and we got a special guest. We got brother Keelan Curry. Did I say Curly?
Curly. That's
Keelan Curry.
because his hair is so curly. Boy, he got them curls.
Got that S wave.
Yeah, he got the S curl up in there with the lines. You know what I'm saying? I'm just jealous. I can't even grow a curl. He's over here stunned with it.
Stunned with
God
it.
Dang.
So we got Keelan Curry. He was our first interview that we had with BlackMenCarpool.
Uh-huh.
You know, we used to call them bonus episodes.
Yep.
And now we just call every episode an episode. So in all actuality, we probably have like 79 episodes. Can you believe that?
We've been grinding.
We've
been consistent. We've been consistent throughout, what, a year and a half?
Yeah. In April, it'll be like 2 years, right?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
We're getting tenure, getting long in the
we
tooth.
we're getting
long in the tooth.
we're getting our stripes. We're earning
And
our
this is
stripes.
kind of a special episode because we're not actually in a car recording,
Right.
but we're actually outside in the cold, and it's cold out here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
A few days ago it was 80, now it's almost down to the 40s.
Yeah.
And so we're out here with our kind of little camping gear on, smoking cigars.
Right.
You know, at a little spot to where we get some free drinks.
Right.
And we're gonna record a little bit.
No
yeah,
doubt.
this is like I don't know. It's not like a bonus episode, but it's kind of like an out of the norm episode.
Yeah, it's a different episode. It's we'll call it a vignette.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's been a lot going on in the media, a lot going on in the news, and I don't want to just piggyback on every obvious story, but the obvious story is Donald Trump. All day, every day.
I thought you weren't gonna piggyback on that one.
Well, you know, my wife, she's like, "Are you watching Donald Trump again?" I'm like, I'm sorry, dear. This is like better than reality television.
Oh my
10 times
goodness.
better than The Apprentice. Every morning when I wake up, I'm going to YouTube and I'm catching all the late night hosts. I'm catching Trevor Noah. I'm catching Seth MacFarlane. I'm catching Stephen Colbert. And definitely Saturday Night Live, because they're just like, their ratings are out of the roof.
Yeah, because of his ass.
Yeah. So,
man, it's hard to get away from Trump.
yeah, it's been fascinating. No one's ever seen a presidency like this ever in modern history. Yeah, this is different. So the latest news is that Trump has banned some news media outlets. There was a recent little small press conference that Sean Spicer had. It was called like a goggle. Let me see what that official name is. But anyway, there was CNN, ABC, NBC News, not the whole network, just the news, because obviously he still has some holdings with The Apprentice.
Yeah.
The LA Times and the New York Times were all banned. And so that's...
But there were some that weren't banned.
Right. Fox News, Breitbart.
Right.
Obviously.
The ones that he has some ventures with.
Exactly. Well, and who are favorable to Republicans and Trump.
Right.
So it was, he's definitely not showing any objectivity.
Yeah.
And so this kind of hits home because, we really are media outlets ourselves, right? And this country was developed on free speech and the power of the press. The press, they don't get everything right 100%, but they have a job to do and they keep everybody honest, right? And so this is what makes a democracy strong. Even John McCain, who is a staunch Republican senator, said once you start, trying to control the press and eliminate the oppressed, those are the sure signs of a dictatorship. And so we can't give President Trump that much power and control, to, exclude the news.
Yeah, that's deep. That's real deep.
So it hits home because, I've worked with newspapers, almost part of my whole entire adult life. And so, we have a power and the people depend upon us to, to be fair and objective and to bring good journalism. So it was actually called a gaggle. A gaggle with Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, took place in lieu of his daily briefings and was originally scheduled as an on-camera event. So those media outlets were banned. And so I also heard that there were some media outlets that were that they boycotted it out of respect for the other media outlets. Yeah. So actually, let me read the whole list. So The Guardian, New York Times, Politico, CNN, BuzzFeed, the BBC, the Daily Mail, and others. I mean, the BBC is a world.
Yeah, how you gonna ban that, man? They're giving world news.
Come on. So, shout out to the American people, and I think it's probably gonna be a new episode of Saturday Night Live tonight. So I'm gonna be dead center in front of my television tonight, trying to
You know, they had a skit with him saying, "There's no one." I guess he was really boasting on himself, saying, "No one does it like me," or something like that. So he had a clip to where he says, "No one respects women like me," and then he says, "No one knows government like me," and he says, "No one has ever done business in the world like me." And he has the number of these clips that says that he's doing these things, but he's
no one loves the Bible more than me.
Yeah, no one. That's like such a cliche. He's just everything he says is you can't really take it serious, and that was just one of those things to where it kind of signed home on it that these things that you're saying that you're the best on, you obviously have no idea how they work. And the difference that I think that he's realizing is that when he was, an entrepreneur and not in the government space, he could get a lot more stuff done because all he had to do was force his money to where it needs to go, just direct his money. But nowadays, in order to get stuff done, it has to go through a bill and someone has to vote on it. And now his own Republican Party, some people are throwing shots at him that don't even feel he's ready for the position.
Yeah, I mean he has no political experience.
Yeah, so he doesn't have, so he don't have the dictatorship that he had when he was an entrepreneur, when he was in his own business. To go ahead and if something needed to get done, he just signs off on it and it happens. Where nowadays he has to go through and influence people, which he doesn't really have that good of a skill, and he just can't manpower everything. Just like this whole thing against the wall. Now this travel bans are being put in place because this is something that he said he was going to do. Everyone voted on it, but the way he's doing, no one likes it.
Right.
So we're over here contradicting ourselves, saying that we want a wall, but the people who are saying that they want the wall, they're starting to see the real life of how this works and how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, the way that he implemented the travel ban was unconstitutional. I mean, how can you jump on a plane and by the time you get to your destination, you find out, oh, you're not allowed to be here.
Right.
I mean, that's not right. You got a green card, you got your work visa, you have your proper documentation that says you should be here.
Yeah. And
they made a split second decision and kicked people out of the country. Some of whom were, obviously our allies and good people. Most of them were good people.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting banned that have travel visas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you just can't do that. I mean, yes, I understand. And again, I've said this before on the podcast that I understand his motive. I understand his idea, what he wants to do. And ideally, what he would do is he would vet all the bad Muslims and all the bad people from Mexico coming over here causing all this trouble, and he would vet all them and get them to go back where they came from. Yeah, everybody would. Who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? We don't want terrorism. Duh. However, that's more of a process that he even anticipated because some of these people are mixed in with good people.
Right.
Exactly. And the countries where he's have the extreme vetting, there has not been a terrorist attack from anyone from those countries.
Yeah.
And once again, the countries where there have been terrorist attacks, it leads you to believe that he obviously has some business holdings or some interest in those countries.
Yeah.
Right.
Keelan, what do you feel about all this?
I mean, he's just like a joke to me. Like, honestly, because I can say that I watch like Celebrity Apprentice and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm a watcher of that. But as far as him, like, just overall running and doing all of that, it's like, to me, it just kind of felt as though he was trying to show, like, this is what my money can do. And it's like overall, it's like at the end of the day, we're still a country like that needs to be ran.
Right.
We need someone who will have a backbone and not just a Twitter rant.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what he was known for. And it's like he is now in a position of power, but I don't really feel like he's prepared for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly like my thing with it. So it's like,
that's a great point.
yeah, he just.
So yeah, I mean, you bring up a great point. I think that he wanted to prove to everyone that that President Obama could be president, I could be president too, and he got it. And he was like, he's got that fulfillment, but then he really didn't know what he was buying into.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's front lines, and he's seeing how hard it is to navigate through government, and how broken it is, and how you try to replace it with something else that you think is going to fix it, but temporarily is going to break it even worse. And we're in such a fetal time. The economy is so shaky right now. And, with house prices, and everything else, like it's like 2008 all over again, 2006. And so we're right on that border, and one bad move could cause a war or something, you know what I'm saying? And everyone's walking on eggshells right now, and he got really what he wanted. He got what he deserved. He wanted to be president, but now it's like, now that you're with it, what are you going to do? And this first 100 days that you've been in office, you haven't really shown any of this promise.
Right. And it's like he continues to talk about more so like, I mean, it's totally different from when you're running for the presidency. Because like you can say what you want to accomplish, but at the end of the day, you don't know what steps you have to do to accomplish those things once you get in the office. So that was one of the biggest things. And even what was that, like a couple of weeks ago, it was, I had read something about the Russian ship that was like outside of
the jurisdictions.
Pacific Ocean grazing one of our ships.
Yeah. So I had read a little bit about that, and it's just like, I mean, it can become a very scary situation. You know what I mean? Because it's like at the end of the day, our lives would still be in jeopardy as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Putin is trying to play him like a fiddle right now. He's taunting him right now.
Yeah.
Because those ships, they know better. They know better.
Yeah. And, I mean, and him, giving Putin props, he doesn't understand that that the culture that he took over does not like Russia. Republican, Democrat, liberal. I mean, Russia has just been one of those people who we always have allies. We've never got along with them. And he's over here trying to say, hey, if Russia's good, then let's work with him or whatever. If Putin really is a good guy, or if I like him, then let's move on. Let's do something about that.
There's U.S. sanctions against Russia right now.
Yeah, and he's over here trying to be friends with him.
Exactly.
And what he doesn't understand, his own Republican Party who voted for him, who's supposed to support him, are like, no, we're not doing anything with Russia. Why would you even bring that up? You know what I'm saying? You sound like a terrorist yourself.
Wow. They're finally, the Republican senators and congressmen and the Republican Party in general, they're starting to come out slowly and start to speak out against him. John McCain, he's done it from the beginning because obviously they don't get along. He don't like him.
Right.
Which he disrespected John McCain in a major way, which I didn't like either. Because Senator John McCain is a hero.
Yeah.
And you can't diminish that. But the Republicans, they're coming, they're starting to speak out.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a hard time when he has to address the House and the Senate, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I don't know, man. It's just, this is what happens when you don't get out and vote. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think we'll always go back to this. This is just what happens when you just don't show up. And even though black people haven't felt the effect, in my opinion, just yet, we will. We certainly will. And the rest of America is already feeling it right now. So I'm off my soapbox.
No doubt. Well, let's get into some positive news. Let's get into some happy news. And fellas, I should have brought my torch, but we'll have to.
We're over here smoking cigars, so if there's pauses between our conversations, it's because we're over here smoking.
Yes, sir. So let's get into some positive news. A couple of weeks ago, the actor Ashton Kutcher went before the Senate, and he spoke about ending modern slavery. He talked about ending human trafficking, right? He gave one of the most heartfelt, warm, and compelling speeches that one could ever give in front of Congress. And his whole aim was to, to foster a bipartisan effort to ending this problem that we have. I mean, his speech was just really, really phenomenal. He and his business partners have developed this app that will help law enforcement reduce the time to track victims of human trafficking. So let me try to say that another way. He's built an app that will help reduce time from like 3 years to 3 weeks to help find people who have been illegally transported and who have been used as sex slaves. And he's very, very passionate about it. And I just want to play this clip real quick, and you all can chime in.
Come up as one of these issues that we can all agree upon, and I applaud you.
Let's start over from the beginning.
For your agreement. This is a bipartisan effort.
Okay.
And in a country that is riddled with bipartisan separation on so many things, slavery seems to come up as one of these issues that we can all agree upon. And I applaud you for your agreement, and I believe in you and your leadership and your ability to take us out of it.
So there we have it. Ashton Kutcher speaking before the Senate. And if you can go to C-SPAN and watch the whole entire speech. But it was very, very, very encouraging in light of all of the, social ills that we're having on display. This was it's also a social ill nonetheless, but he was really trying to bring effort because the Republicans and the Democrats were equally interested in trying to eliminate this issue. So I just wanted to give Ashton Kutcher a shout out for his humanitarian efforts to end slavery, end modern slavery. And so his hashtag is End It Movement and End Modern Slavery. And there's a lapel pin that he wears as a red X to exit out. And so it really moved me, and I was encouraged. And I'm really going to go to the website and see what I can do to maybe donate or do what I can, because he moved me. I mean, it got to the point where I forgot he came to ask for money.
I mean, and it's here in the United States, it's a big problem. And I watched a documentary on it, and even though we have a problem here, it's not as big as over in Europe.
Okay.
And they're saying that when a country legalizes prostitution, it almost opens up the floodgates for human trafficking. And they said out here in the United States how they get away with it a lot of times is through massage parlors.
Really?
So, yeah. So through massage parlors, somehow or some way, they get immigrants over here and they're shipping them back and forth. It was a very interesting documentary. However, it is a big problem. And it's one of those problems that we don't really advertise here in the United States because I think most of middle America don't feel the vibes of that.
Right.
However, it's happening right in our backyard. And so, yeah, I really do take my hat off to him for saying something on that. And I think we need to make it more of an importance as well. There's a lot of things that we need to change, and that's one of them. But we have to change from the inside out. So as a people, we just need to change.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So, Keelon, what's been going on with you? We know you've been working on some music. Tell us what's going on, bro.
Yeah, so, I mean, last time I was here, I was in a group.
Yeah.
So we've actually parted ways.
Okay.
So we did a little bit of that, just on a different path as far as what we were looking for in music. So we were just on our own little path. So he's moved on. He's in Houston. I'm still here. So doing my own thing. So I'm now a solo artist. So my EP is actually getting ready to drop out within the next month or so. I just finished up the last track on there. I'm also getting back into my acting and theater roles and stuff like that. So I did a photo shoot today to get all my headshots and everything together. I'm also possibly going to be on a Verizon commercial, so that's a positive note. So
yeah.
We'll see how that turns out. So y'all can just continue following me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Already. So I'm always interested to figure out how much, if you were to get in a Verizon commercial, do they actually give you? Yeah, I mean, because they have to, you may take a day off set, and how does that all work? How do you get paid for doing that? Because I was told that people in LA, some actors kind of start their way doing that by doing casting calls and just going around 8 hours a day doing casting calls and getting paid on the spot. So how does something like that work?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit different depending on where you're at.
Okay.
But as far as with me, since I'm like, I have some experience with it, so when they look at it, it's basically like for my days of shooting, if I am selected, I'll get paid like a set amount for that.
Okay.
So for this Verizon one, it'll be $2,000.
Oh.
So that'll be just a upfront for the shooting.
For one day?
Right. Well, depending on, because it might be 2 days.
Okay.
You gonna be singing in it, or you just gonna be acting?
No, I'll just be doing some acting.
Okay.
Shoot, $2,000. I mean, $1,000 a day. That's a great day.
So that's really good. And then after that, you actually get paid by like as many times as the commercial is played.
Royalties.
So yeah, so that's the good thing about it.
So you get royalties even if you're an extra? Or?
Yeah, even if you're an extra.
What?
Are you registered with like
SAG and all that?
Yeah.
I was registered with SAG. I have to actually get all my information back together because I had kind of stopped doing it for a while. I was just focusing on music, and so right now, like this particular one it was just a non-union one. So that's the good thing about it. So I still do like some non-union stuff as well. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, man. That's
Thank you,
great.
thank
That's
you.
awesome.
I remember that performance that you had a couple months ago. I was watching the video. It was like a pool party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of beautiful women around.
Where'd you shoot that at? I never seen the video.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No,
yeah,
I haven't seen the
Facebook.
video.
Yeah, I did that at Sisu, Uptown.
Oh, okay.
So I was the only artist. I had like the track that I did. I had a feature on it, so he was there. But I was the only one that was performing for it. They were doing like a little fashion show and everything around the pool.
Okay.
And so while they were doing that, I was doing my performance. So it was pretty cool.
That is cool to be in a little environment like that. It's awesome.
You look like you were really in your element. Like you were like real comfortable.
Yeah, that's my thing.
That's
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, and I actually did House of Blues I did that again about a few weeks ago.
Right.
So yeah.
So how was it now performing solo compared to when you were performing with Corey?
I mean, it's like a give and a take a little bit because like it's hard, but then it's also easier as well.
Okay,
so,
explain. How does that
like
work?
the reason it's so hard is because at one point when you're in a group, you have to just write your verse.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to write a whole song.
Right.
So it's like you collectively come together, get a chorus, throw some ideas out, and then write your verse. And it's like now I need a chorus that I make up on my own. Then I have to write a verse and then a second verse and then maybe a bridge. And, depending on if I'm going to have a feature on it or if I'm not going to have a feature on it, it's just all of those factors plays a role as well.
So do you have to do your beats as well? Or like do you have someone who helps create beats and everything else?
Well, it depends because like I have a couple of producers that I've worked with.
Okay.
So some of them, like I go to them and get beats. Sometimes I go online and find my own, depending on what sound I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because of course I have to think about like what is my next track gonna be? What's gonna make me stand out from my other track I did last month?
Yeah.
So sometimes I go online and find me a little something that I feel is good, and then I go with it.
So what happens if you find one of these beats online and then your song blows up? Doesn't the person who created that beat get royalties, or like how does that work? Like because if someone had to create that beat, you know what I'm saying, or is there a website to where you get free beats and you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do with it?
It depends on how you purchase them.
Okay.
So I always purchase the. I lost my train of thought. So I always purchase the track that is.
Royalty free?
Yeah, basically.
So
it's
you
another
pay-
word for it, but.
So you pay for it up front, and after that, no matter what happens, it's yours because you purchased it for that. Okay.
Because you can like
mechanical
lease
and non-mechanical, is that it?
Well, it's like you can lease a beat.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and if
yeah.
you lease the beat,
You can lease a beat.
yeah, so you can lease it, and they'll give you like you can sell like 2,000 copies, and you can perform it, but you have to make sure if anything happens with that, they get their cut out of it. But I always pay for it outright, so I get all the royalties to it, and so they'll send me all the documents to my email and everything once I pay for it.
And how much do your beats usually go for?
It depends on where you're getting it from. So like where I go on SoundClick when I'm looking like online for stuff, and it's so many different people that have beats. You just kind of go through and find them, and some can be from like 100, some could be like up to 1,000. So it just depends on what you're looking for. And so I technically always find like the deals.
We should start beatboxing and upload our beats.
God dang. I don't know if we'll sell not one thing. Like, man, this is that Dougie Fresh. That Dougie Fresh, boy, that Dougie.
It's that new fresh.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. I never knew that existed. Because I always figured, if I'm going to make a beat, I'm fitting to get paid for it. But I guess you could just buy a beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old son, he was playing with this little free app where he can make beats, like Fruity Loops, but he's like, I want the full version. I can't really do much with this. But I was trying to convince him, stick with it because you may be able to upload your beats and sell them and create a revenue stream for yourself.
My brothers actually do that. So they have like they just bought like what was it, the Apple laptop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
GarageBand?
Huh?
GarageBand?
Yeah, something like that. So he actually he started doing that, and he's been making like all kind of different beats, and he's even done like the theme song to Halloween. Yeah. So he got that like on the back of something, and he kind of played with it a little bit. So it's pretty cool the way he did it.
That as soon as I get free from my corporate job, that is one thing that I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a world-class DJ, to where I could combine music, create animation in there, you know what I'm saying, and then have someone rap over it. That's all I've ever wanted to really, I guess as a young man, seeing the environment and everything else. But really, when you can connect with people through music, man, some of these EDM guys that do this house music and EDM music, like in Europe, they fill out soccer stadiums. These people are really having a movement. Anyhow, that's just been one of the things I've been really wanting to do for a long time in my life.
I feel like freestyle. I think we should all freestyle.
I ain't that drunk to get me on. We have a couple drinks, but come on now, you ain't gonna get me on wax. Rapping. Oh, no.
I can hold a tune.
Go ahead. Why don't you drop something? You brought it up. Why don't you go on spit?
You want me to spit like what? A freestyle? I'm not a rapper. I'm a poet.
Okay, go ahead.
But man, I had come up with this little verse the other day. Let me see if I can remember it. And I can't remember it, so we'll play this game. You all give me 2 words each.
Dungy.
Dungy?
Dungy.
Like
Tony Dungy.
Like Tony Dungy? Okay. Keelan.
Magnificent.
Magnificent?
Yeah.
All right, give me another word.
Dingy.
Dingy, Dungy, magnificent, and
rocker.
Rocker?
Yeah.
Okay. If I were a biker, I would rock the bottom rocker because I'm trill like that. I represent Texas. I'm real like that. I respect the game even when I don't play. I refuse to stand on the sidelines because I want my name to be supreme, magnificent, like the great Tony Dungy, who is not a dingy coach. What is the word you use? Tell me.
Yeah.
He's not a dingy coach. He is an advocate for the progression of men to become leaders within their community. And I respect that. You gotta love that. Because what the world needs now is leaders. Less Indians, more chiefs who lead with humility. Humility is the key to bring us upward where we can thrive and build our own economy, when we work together and pull our resources up. Let us come up. Let us be strong. Let us be magnificent like the great Tony Dungy.
Hold on, but did he get all your words?
He got all of them.
He got them?
Yeah.
Already.
That was fun. We should do that more often.
Already.
So let's talk about sports real quick. Magic Johnson just took over the Lakers, or he got hired by the Lakers to be the president right now. Did you guys hear that story?
No, I didn't.
Nah, I didn't.
I'm always impressed because Magic Johnson, he finds ways to always like make moves in business. Like if you guys ever get the opportunity, you should check out this book called 32 Ways to Champion a Business by Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm. It is hands down one of the best business books I've ever read. And what really moved me was like when he went into business, his celebrity didn't really take him where he wanted to go. Mm-hmm. You know, people didn't want to do business with him. They wanted to sit in a room, take a picture, and get his autograph, and say, you're great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go talk to some real businessmen over here. Mm-hmm. You know, but good luck.
Yeah.
So he had to overcome that, right?
Yeah. You have to earn that respect in a different arena.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But he put in the work. He did his homework. Mm-hmm. Like he at one point in time he had Burger King, so he went to Burger King University. He learned everything there was to know about the business, and he thrived. He's one of the few people who've ever got a partnership with Starbucks. You know, he has his own movie theaters, and he has ventures within the LA Dodgers, and now he's had ownership within the Lakers for a while, and so now it's like, he just continued to make all of the right moves in business, and I just really applaud him and respect him for that. And he got a lot of negative feedback from Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard is a commentator for ESPN. He was saying, "Oh, Magic Johnson, he failed as a talk show host, as in entertainment. That's not really his thing. But who has not failed in some aspect? I mean, you try a couple things, or a lot of things, and some things work, some things don't work. But you can't take away for the things that have worked for Magic Johnson, because he has built a massive, massive business, and I think he'll do well with the Lakers."
Yeah. The thing about Magic Johnson is he understood that NBA money wasn't going to last him the rest of his life.
Exactly.
So he had to understand he had to learn, for one, how to build an asset and get people to believe in his asset in order for it to grow. And so when you have someone who's talking about assets, but really they're only an athlete, you don't have any rapport, or you don't have any trust within the community that you could go ahead and double somebody's money, because that's what it comes down to, is being able to do a return on your investment. And so with Magic Johnson, he was able to get partners with a lot of savvy individuals to show him the ropes on what business is like. And for there, he could go ahead and create a real retirement for himself in order to grow some things and make some money work for him. So therefore, he ain't trying to lace up and go back like Jordan and make a fool of himself.
Yeah. One of his principles was he always under-promises and over-delivers.
Yeah.
And he over-delivers when it comes time to, like he borrowed against the whole teacher retirement fund for the state of California, mm-hmm. Which was, hundreds of millions of dollars. But he paid all that back in record-setting time. And, he's one of my business role models, one of my business mentors. And I'm still a fan on the court and off the court. All right, well, that's all I got to talk about, fellas. What about y'all?
Man, I think I've purged.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Keelan, you are a friend of the show. You're always more than welcome to come kick it with us, come smoke a cigar with us, have a libation with us, and some spirited conversation. Right. You want to sing a little verse, or you chilling?
It don't matter.
Go ahead, spit something.
Well, let me think. One of my new tracks or whatever, it's actually getting ready to, I'm about to push it out a little more now. It's more of like a love kind of song, for the late night.
Late night. Snuggle.
And it's called Tell Me. So.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I'll just do like a little chorus or something.
All right, cool.
Tell me that you want it. Tell me that you need it. Tell me that you're fiending for it. Tell me that you want it. Tell me that you need it. Tell me that you can't live without it. Baby, it's all on you. Tell me what you wanna do. I can give it to you right, just how you like. Give it to you fast and slow. Baby, just let me know if you really want a private show.
Giving out the private on the low.
Hey, I'm about to go play that for the missus tonight.
Boom. That's my dog.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my dog. Keelan, you're like Dwayne said, you're always a friend of the family. So
Appreciate it.
we'd love to have you back again and just keep us posted on your career.
Will do.
And where again can they find and follow you on your social media?
You can follow me on Facebook, Keelan Curry. It's on there, and then Instagram is Keelan, and then Snapchat is Keelan, and then I always forget because I have so many. And then that's the Instagram already.
Yeah, Keelan.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is Keelan Curry. It's linked to my Facebook, so if you go on there, you can see all of them.
Already.
All right, man. I enjoyed that, man. I enjoyed this show. This has been a good episode. So this has been another episode of Black Men Carpool, where we take time to pronounce and enunciate our words. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Peace.
Peace.